to add that safety. So without Thresh, going to have a lot fewer options there. And holy moly, they are just triple banning HolyPhoenix.
Yeah.
Flowers, the 2 kill lanes I mentioned, not finding their way onto the ban phase here, so they might actually get forced into it. I would actually love to see an aggro bottom lane like that from the Wildcats if they do go with a Kalista, do go with a a Samira comp for them. But opening up with Lee Sin, super flexible right now. We already mentioned at the top of game number 1, junglers have started to play Lee Sin again just because he's so good of a solo laner and definitely is a possible flex.
Yep, he came back into the game in sort of a weird position. People always knew him as a jungler. He took up a spot in the lanes, and the junglers were like, hey, I kind of missed that. I'm pretty sick of playing Udyr. Speaking of which, Udyr is not quite out of the meta yet, my friends. He has been beaten over the head with the Nerf bat, but it is not strong enough. Udyr has a very strong head, and that means he is still relevant. He is still present, and he is here in this game. He will be part of the front line that is drafted for Pain Gaming, along with this Rell that they picked up in their first iteration.
Yeah, they tried to hit Udyr with the same Nerf bat that they hit Hecarim with. He just turtle stanced it. So kind of glanced off. He's got a shell. He's got his helmet on. Hecarim unlucky though, got hit in the kneecaps. So hopefully we don't see any more Hecarim. We actually saw Hecarim already in the opening day of MSI. To great dismay of many out there, it looks like we're going to be more on point with some of the newer improvements to the meta though. I mean, the Lee Sin and the Rumble both picked up here.
Yeah,
These are both very highly coveted. If you've been tracking the boot camp, especially in EU West solo queue, these are 2 of the most played champions. We saw it flex into the mid lane previously here as far as the Rumble goes. I do expect this to be jungle Rumble. Again, though, they do have possibilities of switching it up here for some surprise plays. On the other side, Tristana, still one of my favorites. Solo lane aficionado there, but also very deadly in the hands of brTT. And if you're talking about kill lanes and possibilities here, if you've got Udyr, that's an early power clear. You can get down there. Flash Bear Slap was not nerfed in the slightest, okay? Tiny bit of damage was taken off of Udyr. Phoenix was hit twice and his base attack damage was hit. But if you get in there and you slap him, Rell, E snap stun plus Tristana rocket jumping in is always a duo that can look for kills. So very, very good flexibility here. And it's interesting that the Alistar is answered to the Rell because that is a support matchup where the mechanics can go either way. I love it when there are possible outplays and counters on both sides. Alistar, you can knock up the Rell if they're trying to come in on Crashdown because the travel time is very long before you actually get your knock up, and so you can interrupt her and deny her the aftershock, making the Rell squishy so you can actually kill her on the way out. Meanwhile, the Rell with your E snap stun talking about can actually snap stun Alistar as Alistar goes in for a headbutt pulve combination. So you see an evolution where the Alistars then start to try and flash pulverize instead of headbutt pulverize to catch them off guard. And it's just one of my favorite support matchups here between 2 engaged champions that can set up for a lot of pressure, and junglers should get down to those lanes for that action. All the bans though, Flowers, we're all solo lanes.
We got them solo lanes targeted, my friend. It is Ryze, Orianna, Victor, and Lucian all removed from the table, and it looks like we're going to see Pain Gaming pick themselves up a Sylas as their 4th pick of the draft.
I love Sylas right now. For the past 2 patches, I really wanted to be able to play him in jungle. Unfortunately, a lot of the buffs were a lot towards scaling, and so he's much more well situated for solo lanes. His clear is just pathetic.
Hey, Kobe.
Yeah! Samira, HolyPhoenix, Samira. Hell yes! I love watching this dude on the kill lanes here. Oh, I'm so excited. And honestly, Pain forced him into it. And HolyPhoenix was like, you know what? Fine. If you're going to triple ban 80 carry on me, I hit you with my Samira. Hell yes, we get it. Sett is locked in here. This is better solo lane Sett than previous. Okay, so this patch, a lot of people are looking at it as nerfs because, it has been more difficult to get Sett into the tank mid lane or the tank support role, but they buffed his AD scaling. So top lane Sett for StarScreen here is massive. You can build the offensive, AD early. It actually makes your W stronger. It makes solo lane Sett more oppressive. It's Robo answering with his Darius though. Oh my goodness, nobody's backing down in this game, Flowers. We're gonna have volatile lanes in every single lane. And that's just a jungle playground. It really tests the caliber of your junglers when you have so many options like this. Literally every lane can come up with kills. I'm excited.
Kobe, I had somebody ask me the other day, said, Captain Flowers, what picks do you want to see at MSI? What are you excited for? I was like, I just want to see things get shaken up. I have watched so many games on the same patch. I'm done with those picks. I'm done with Renekton. I'm done with Gnar. And now I get Sett versus Darius, and man, I am ready for it.
Honestly, just off the top of the table, I give a slight advantage looking at Sett for me because I've had so many experiences with Darius failing later on in the games. But as a solo queue champion, is uncontested, right? So we'll see if they can get some dominance up there. The problem is that junglers will be pulled in so many directions. That matchup is really going to play on jungle presence. And it's not just, oh, whose jungle comes up here to gank? It's whose jungle gets spotted first so that the other one then gets to actually play aggressively.
Right.
Darius does have some good options versus Sett because you can work very well, around snaring and dodging out on W damage and still being able to stack up your bleed. So it actually does have a lot of really good options for Darius if the junglers are not involved. I will say, though, that if it's me on a team, I love my Sett teleporting in for a team fight a little bit more than a Darius, unless the Darius is like turbo fed, because Sett can add so much structure to your team fights. If you get good teleport flanks in, ultimate combos into E pullbacks, it's like there's so many possibilities here. Whereas Darius's main possibility is just slamming people in front of him with the axe, looking for that dominance there. And if you're not able to get that 1v1 dominance or 2v2 dominance, then you lose a decent amount of the power for the pick.
And I love how you're breaking down how they're both going to affect the entirety of the game and all this fancy big brain 200 IQ stuff. I am looking at this as Juggernaut versus Juggernaut, the battle of Jug. Two champions who want to stand there and beat the snot out of each other. This is top lane.
Oh, this is top lane, all right. Guess what? This is also mid lane and jungle and bottom lane. Everybody has the possibilities for burning summoner spells by themselves in these lane matchups. Okay, so junglers, we're looking at both blue buff starts here. Ferret gonna start top side. Rumble burns through the jungle. It's insane how much the percentage max health damage being added to the kit with the crazy attack speed, on overheating has done for this champion. Turning your jungle clear into one of the turbo clear champions and actually gets the best of a lot of the other ones in the meta right now, really adds so many more options here. So him clearing down towards that bottom side, we're looking at that Alistar plus Rell combination we talked about in Champ Select, and they're already going for it.
There it is, the flash pulverize you were talking about. brTT is trying to find his way out, but HolyPhoenix says, ban another one of our champions, baby. It's first blood over to the fast pay Wildcats.
Oh, we're rewarded already, Flowers. We call it for the Samira for HolyPhoenix. He delivers in Champ Select, and he delivers at minute 2. Going for the flash play there. FarFetch immediately flashing in because Alistar, you're always looking to aggressively trade that flash since you have Hex Flash and you can pull off repeat plays, but they don't even have to wait for the repeat. HolyPhoenix gets it done against brTT here. They go in, you can see them pushing so quickly. Flash, pulverize, and even with the exhaust out, Ignite goes down super early for them. HolyPhoenix can keep it up. He flashes early as well. He knows he can get it with the last one here. Oh, we did not waste any time. It's already delivering.
No, we did not.
Let's get right back out to seeing where the junglers were in their pathways. Rumble, it looks like
Krugs.
Still, yeah.
They're at Krugs.
All the excitement going on, and we get the full clears. Okay, deep
We
breath
are
now.
at Krugs, my friends. Oh, man. Back up here on the top side, these two are doing exactly what I expected them to do, just punching each other over and over again. But that bottom lane, man, I want to go back to that because remember, this bottom lane joined up with this roster here in 2021. The roster had a pretty good showing in 2020, but didn't get the win. These two were the secret sauce to make it work. And now up in the top side, they're going for the dive, but holy cow, StarScreen! That's what I'm talking about! 1v2 double kill! The Jug is here!
Hot damn, man! We gotta keep it going, too. Mid lane is primed for a dive, my brother. All right, Lee Sin, they've got one more more wave coming, though. It is a cannon minion wave. They're looking at having a Hex flash over the top of Raptor Pit. They call it off because they don't know where Udyr is. You get hyped up in some of these games, your blood gets boiling, shoutcasters are rambling on, just yelling about all the action, and you can throw stuff away, okay? So they don't go for the over-aggressive dive because of the reset timers here. They lost track of the enemy jungler. I like this calm addition here from the Wildcats. They don't want to throw away this lead. They've already got a ginormous lead off of the back of a massive outplay here from StarScreen. Perfect flash into stun.
Man, this was awesome.
Actually just sick here from him. So Udyr stun first, he uses the W to wait for better positioning, flashes in to get the pullback stun on both, and then he triumph heals off of the first kill onto Udyr with the tower shots. He gets both flashes out of them. You talked about this is top lane. This is two juggernauts slamming against each other. Well, guess what? They're not done with it yet. It's actually 3v1.
And it's a 3v2 instead. Now they're turning the pain right back around onto the Rell. This should be a 1-for-2, though. Ferret won't be long for this world. Robo picks him up. That's a double kill for the Pain Gaming top lane.
Honestly, I wanted to see that. I didn't want this game to just get stomped out and over here by 10 minutes, Flowers. Now we've got an even playing field.
Oh, yeah.
Some money in the pockets of Darius. They're ready to keep on slamming here. Both juggernauts now will be fueled. Bottom side, though, is going to be dominant and remain dominant for the Wildcats. When you get an early kill like that onto the Tristana Rell lane, you lose out on so many of the possibilities of even threatening for your all-ins. This Samira Alistar lane just holds all of the cards now. StarScreen here was getting very, very aggressive with the early lead that he had. Didn't have any escapes for himself, but with Rumble coming up, they at least get one counter kill onto the Rell. And it does also go over to StarScreen. Actually further funded his bounty. So the shutdown was bigger when Robo's able to pick that up. So Robo doesn't feel too bad about it. On the Darius, it actually does fund his early armor upgrades for the extra move speed that we were talking about for trying to dodge out on Sett's W there for early plated steel caps. It does not help you with Rumble ganks, though, so Ferret might want to throw more attention up there, as StarScreen has really proven himself worthy of attention from this team.
Yeah.
Really big individual plays.
Oh, talking about individual plays, FarFetch is just deciding it's time to kill brTT again. HolyPhoenix goes in, and now they're going to go after the support, too. Why not? Picked up one. Why not make it a double? Ferret moving forward, looking for a little bit of extra damage, lands both electro harpoons, but he's overheated. He can't keep chasing any further.
Yeah, and that's going to mean Dragon Flowers. FarFetch comes up with another beautiful Alistar play. This guy does not miss, okay? Right onto brTT. brTT not able to get his rocket jump off quickly there, and even with the flash and the exhaust available, throws down just the exhaust, can't escape with his life. HolyPhoenix did not hesitate. Every good setup from Alistar followed up by him, and they're going to go for even more here. Honestly, I just want them to push them off the wave. But they're actually going to snit.
Oh, I think they're just going all the way in, my friend. First kill secured. That's a trade, though, as support for support dies. brTT tries to get away, but it's a double kill back to HolyPhoenix. He is just going all the way to the moon today, Kobe.
Yes, he is. HolyPhoenix is going to bring down that fiery wrath. Conqueror stacked up on the Samira, flashing forward. Guess what? Another double minion wave denied to brTT. Robo does teleport down. He's not able to clean up anybody afterwards, though. He does get the minion wave. StarScreen's got top lane here in an easy freeze. All you need to freeze a full freeze at your tower is 4 ranged minions. You need just the DPS there for 4 of them. He's got way, way more than that, so he can deny plenty of minions up on the top side. And with the extra vision control, you see support recall timers means that Alistar is up here. They can really threaten that Darius, maybe get a flash out. Looks like we've got to move over from Rell, though.
Okay, Alistar just
these
just jumps on a Okay, that was a pretty random flare. All right. Well, he's getting out. He's fine on that. You can see Cariok moving in, trying to steal away the blue buff. They'll fight over the wards here a little bit back and forth. FarFetch has found his opponent once more. The rotation comes in. Luci, what are you doing in there? That's not where you're supposed to be. Three-man collapse makes it easy. 8-3 game. StarScreen's in some trouble. Cariok's coming in looking to make this play here for the second time, but StarScreen with a flash away. This play is tragedy twice in a row. Electro Harpoon into the Flame Spitter, and he is gone. Cariok now the target with Robo out of the picture. FarFetch is just moving on up in there, charging up the stun. Pulverize is ready. Give the money over to the jungler. Nope, never mind. FarFetch takes the kill.
We gonna slam, and we gonna jam, and the Wildcats are going ham, Flowers!
10 kills in 9 minutes! 10 kills in 9 minutes for just the Wildcats. That's not even talking about the 3 that Pain has.
Holy moly, this is some fun League of Legends here on the MSI stage. International performance here. Looks like Wildcats want to make that a 9-4 victory for TCL. They force Rell is still level 4 here, my friend. He's been roaming a lot and does not have the health bar to sustain many of these fights. You see Samira and Lee Sin are heading up. This is about to be 5 Wildcats, and Pain Gaming might be on the receiving end of some pain here pretty quickly. Recall from StarScreen, though, since he has no ultimate or flash, they decide to give it up. Pain finally able to get something for themselves. Rumble Ultimate cannot steal it. And they finish it off, Scuttle Crab plus the Rift Herald. A brief kind of prize here for Pain. They can breathe safely for a few minutes.
And funny enough, we haven't seen a single Drake taken so far this game. That poor little Earth Drake, nobody invited him to the prom. He's down there in the bottom side river just chilling out by himself, and no one is paying any attention to it. The fast-pay Wildcats, this was a team that heavily prioritized early Dragons in their regular season, but then you saw a decided change over to the Rift Herald once they got into the playoffs, but this time around, they weren't able to grab that, and man, I tell you what, Pain Gaming is so happy for that being the truth right now, because they need a way back into this game.
They certainly do, because HolyPhoenix has been dominating. They triple banned him. Triple banned first phase, still leaves open the Samira for him, grabs up third most played champion, one of his favorites, performs on it so well following up on FarFetch initiations. And the Alistar is so pivotal in getting this big early lead for them. Then StarScreen, a lot of individual performances we've talked about. He does have his ultimate now to be able to rely on, has finished up at least a decent amount of gold for himself, so should be able to hold on bottom side, getting ready for this dragon. But the true carry, again, is going to be HolyPhoenix. You see it there at the very top. His name in lights.
Look at the gold, man. Also, for those of y'all in the audience that are hardcore TCL fans, you may have noticed that I said the numbers backwards. It turns out, not only am I a robot, I cannot read. It's the opposite of what I said, and the Drake focus was traded away for... It was the Herald focus traded away for the Drakes. That's what you want to see the Wildcats focusing on here, as the Herald is summoned up in the bottom lane. They'll grab 2 plates off of it, but it's not going to be anything like what we saw last time around in the previous game, Kobe, where that first Rift Herald just takes down the entirety of the first turret.
So StarScreen does have teleport. It's actually an interesting opening here because they have him on bottom side. He can teleport up the top side, knowing that Robo does not have teleport. But because they've actually committed 5, yeah, he loses out on the melee minion. So he does teleport topside. It's a little bit later than I was hoping for because they had all the tools here with teleport advantage to be able to get Dragon easily and not give up anything on topside. StarScreen kind of has cornered him in the alcove, and yet this is the sneakiest Darius you've ever seen. He waits, he bides his time, waiting for his Tristana to get close off the reset, but StarScreen turns it around with the ultimate.
And then just starts punching on him. Robo loses half HP and StarScreen walks away.
Yeah, StarScreen right there, really good map awareness. And that's not getting caught up in the pace of the game. Communicated to him, he knows he is weak side, so it looks like, oh, Darius is waiting around for a 1v1 here. Not to be fooled, okay? So he buys some time, dunks him to 50% HP with a good trade, but does not overcommit, knows there are going to be rest of the members of Pain there coming for his head, so backs out until he himself has reinforcements on the way, and this is just good communication on the team for Wildcats. Good map awareness. They're playing their bottom side. They know HolyPhoenix working away on bottom. They give him the time to do it, and they get as much as they can on their weak side here, with StarScreen still getting some experience and not opening himself up for a pick.
Yeah, everybody's rotated up to the top side now from the Wildcats, except for HolyPhoenix, who's being left down there to grab that solo gold on the first turret of the game. StarScreen has done a good enough job defending that their opponents are not able to try to contest for that first turret and race them down with it. Luci goes in here for a little bit of engage power. FarFetch has to back up. Does not want to be tanking this up for no reason. They're fed AD carries on the other side of the map. There's no reason to force a fight.
Yeah, they're just looking to trade objectives right now. Pain Gaming, as long as they don't come out, giving stuff away for free, they're really happy. So that's why they wanted to push as hard as they could on top side while giving up bottom. And that's why I really just wanted to celebrate the communication from Wildcats, because you can look at this game, and certainly the first 10 minutes, you're like, oh man, these guys are just crazy. They're just fighting all over the place. Well, that's because they're winning the fights and they are coming out ahead, but they also still have good control of the battlefield. I really like their mid-game call there. They don't give up a one-for-one trade for Pain. They deny the tower on top side. StarScreen also denies the possibility of a kill while still holding on to the objective. Although tenuously, these towers are very low and can be toppled over from a hard push, but they keep off Pain slightly on tempo until you actually get these towers down. You don't have those big influx of gold to be able to fund your mythic items and actually fight these mid-game fights. So it goes a long way for Wildcats, not only winning these early skirmishes and a lot of these early duels in their favor, but also making sure that Pain don't immediately get right back into it with some global gold and some objectives.
Now, if you're Pain, one bit of a saving grace you have here, the silver lining on the dark cloud of this early game, is the fact that the fast-pay Wildcats, despite the fact that they have these really impressive numbers around their PvP in the early game, is Robo's just baiting him in here a little bit. Hold on, let's see if they can turn this one around well enough. StarScreen standing there and fighting. StarScreen, is he going to do this again? Kobe, is he going to do this again? He flashes over the wall. Follow up for the flash. Okay, Cariok's got him. It's a 1-for-1. But StarScreen just keeps styling in these 1v2s.
Yeah, honestly, he flashed away there. He was going to try and buy a bunch of time, and he gets the flash out of Udyr. There's no way he ever wins the follow-up one, since he's got 5 stack bleed on him, and Udyr's full health should be able to finish him off. Like, man, StarScreen, he has been soaking up so much pressure while still coming out ahead, affording all these objectives to his team, because when 2 people go at him, he trades 1-for-1, still gets a kill, burns flashes actually more than evenly, because he got both of the flashes out of Udyr and Darius in the 2v1 there for himself, and his team comes out way ahead since objectives pushed on the other side of the map. brTT forced a flash out away too, just from the rotation down, and Wildcats, they just keep on swinging.
For anyone out there who might wonder, well, why did he flash if he had rocket jump? If he would have taken the time to cast the rocket jump, he would have been headbutt pulverized out of the animation and immediately killed. Flash was the only way to not be dead at the end of that one. StarScreen now pushing up the wave here in bottom side. tinowns goes in, steals away the Sett ulti, locks him down here with the Everfrost. Facebreaker to slam them both together. There comes that showstopper right on back out. And what did you say, Kobe? Absorbing that pressure. He is a sponge down here in the side lane, just daring them to come after him again.
It's actually so funny, because that is the lore behind Sett. He is the boss. He is this pit fighter. He is down for any and all challengers, and that's true to StarScreen here. He's like, bring it, come again. Who wants some next time? This 2v2, that 2v2. Let's go, son. Dunks him back into the tower, makes his opponents have to spend so many resources, and it makes you question, why are they using resources to go after this man, okay? You're losing so much by throwing everything at StarScreen, and honestly, he's just laughing at you.
Well, he is laughing all the way to the bank. 4-2-1, feeling great about the current state of the game. Tied for the most kills here, as Robo goes in for a kill onto Serin, gets yeeted right back over the wall, so that fight's not going anywhere else. But I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before the last 1v2 happened, and that's the fact that despite the fact the Wildcats have such good early stats, specifically around their PvP, their kills, their assists, all of that stuff, this is a team that's average game time is actually pretty slow, because once it gets to this mid-game point, into the late game point, they're not very good at using Baron to close the game. This is a team that can struggle, that can stall out a little bit sometimes, even when they get the leads, and that's what I want to see Pain Gaming look at. Look for those opportunities to come back into the game, to maybe stall things out a little bit longer, if the Wildcats don't just come for your throat and know the way to get this one done quick.
And if we're looking at individuals to make that happen, for me, it's tinowns. I absolutely love this guy. He is an efficient mid laner, and those are the mid laners that I like to praise the most, the ones that aren't always crying for so many resources and yet still scale really well, still put out so much damage for their team. And he's on Sylas. So much utility can be provided here by him. There are great ultimates for him to steal. When you steal Sett ultimate, you add the AP scaling to it on top of being a great initiator. Alistar ultimate is always a great one to steal. Honestly, every single one on the opponent team. I don't even want to go through the whole list. So he has he has a lot of options here. And Sylas, in the current iteration of the champion, has so many bonuses as the game goes on. All the level scaling for stats, for HP, were buffed so much that you just really need to invest in cooldown reduction on this champion, and you become pivotal in these mid-game fights. He's able to stack up his Conqueror extremely quickly and has a possibility for making a lot of these plays, especially if you combine it with Rell. One of my favorite pairings here is these dive champions with Rell that you can put your snap stun onto, providing them extra durability as well as the offensive threat of the stun. So these are the possibilities of Pain. And like we said, Pain did not stomp CB LOL. They had to work through a lot of comebacks.
In the regular season, they were fifth.
They had to come back from so many games, and the games that they won also weren't always big stomps here, quite rarely actually. So they are no strangers to having to come back from deficits like this. You know, brTT is biding his time. Yes, he's been kind of squashed on early by HolyPhoenix, and he's significantly behind here, as HolyPhoenix already with the Lord Doms on top of his shield bow. So the Samira is going to be a terror cutting through all these melee champions. But it's still a light at the end of the tunnel here for Pain Gaming. They're saying, hey, yo, try and skill for late. Sylas, Tristana, this is going to be our game plan later. We're going to try and set up for them, and hopefully they can try and get that bounty off of HolyPhoenix.
And I really like the itemization as a team from the Wildcats right now. They let Samira invest in that Lord Dominix because you're up against a 3 meatball comp with Udyr, with Darius, with Rell all together like that. And then they still get the grievous wounds on both Lee Sin and Rumble, making sure that against targets like a Sylas and like a Darius that get so much powerful healing in a fight, they will always have that grievous wounds applied. Really like what I'm seeing out of these guys' items choices.
Definitely true, and it actually makes it so some of the scaling, and we talk about there's two kinds of scaling really, or actually there's more than two, but two of the main ones.
Okay, what do you got for me? What do you got?
You're scaling for carries, like your DPS scaling for team fights, but also frontline. People kind of sometimes overlook or forget about how different front lines can actually scale, whether you're relying on creating space using CC abilities or actually being a meatball that tries to soak damage. And if you are facing, early Lord Doms like that and champions like Rumble that are going to burn you down, that have percentage max HP, the front line of Pain is actually going to have a very hard time ever getting durable versus this Wildcats combination. So even though you're looking at some possibilities of champions falling off there, it really does mean that they can actually work front to back and burn through. Oh my goodness, good play here to get the rocket jump and flash out of brTT.
Free Dark Harvest stack too. Ferret's feeling good about that one. brTT, man, that was a lot of damage from that equalizer. He is not feeling confident about the current state of his positioning in a fight. If one breaks out, you lost the flash, you're half HP. Now you got Serin looking to find even more here.
Whoa.
Jumps in the middle of 4. Has to jump right back out as they continue the fight now with FarFetch finding the CC into the back line. brTT, he's gone. Serin takes the kill. Teleports coming in from both sides as tinowns goes back into the fight. But here comes the boss. Luci's into the picture next. Cariok's running away. FarFetch in the front line finally falls over. Robo's in for one dunk, in for two, in for three. Robo's making the fight happen. Holy cow, the Darius gets it done, but StarScreen is still a force of nature. tinowns coming right back into the fight. StarScreen running away. This could be the ace if they secure the kill. tinowns has the lockdown. A little bit more damage going through the haymaker. Playmaker ain't quite gonna do it yet. Ace for Pain Gaming!
Oh, these are always heart stoppers at the end of the team fight. Sylas with the last second on the Kingslayer. Big heal comes through. Conqueror's up for him, and you get that burst of healing. What a slugfest, Flowers. Pain did it, though. That team
Robo
fight,
the hero.
That team fight we're looking for. And they started off by bursting down HolyPhoenix. Like we were saying, burst him down, you get that bounty off of his head. The Samira was very aggressive jumping in here for Wildcats without everybody being able to set up for him. And they actually take Samira out so quickly in the team fight that then when the teleports come in, they allow Darius gets the reset, stacks up fully on the passive there, and Robo does so much work. Now they're early on the Dragon. They're messing Rumble in the pit. He's toast.
Okay, FarFetch is trying to tank it up as long as he can, but he should be out of there. Down to 100 HP. There we go. Robo picking that one up. You got the Drake secured. They'll stop the soul stack as well. Pain Gaming fans, this is your team coming back in here 25 minutes into the game, and they surge to life.
No strangers to comebacks, Flowers, and Pain do it in the team fight. Following up with Dragon, they cut off the Wildcats, Dragon stacking, and just like you're talking about, in the later stages, Wildcats starting to let some of the objectives fall through the cracks. They get over-aggressive in their team fight. Here is another look at how it starts out. 4 members in the Axe replay here, jumping in. HolyPhoenix on the front lines. They're able to get the exhaust down onto him. So when he jumps in, no lifesteal because you're doing so much less damage. They burst him down. The rest of the team comes out. Teleports come in. They get the dunk. And then it just becomes the slugfest. Robo able to get the reset here. Fully stacks up. Flashes in for the extra kill. Pops his Steric Skates for the extra shield there, and then Sylas in these team fights. We talk about his scaling. His Conqueror is fully stacked up, able to make use out of multiple Kingslayers in the prolonged fight. Has the end of the snare here, even with the snap back. Look how low he gets. The cooldown comes back up just at the last second. It could have gone either way. Honestly, if StarScreen gets that kill there, he triumph heals, he finishes off, and Wildcats are the victors. But those slim margins are what make the difference on the world stage here when all of the pressure is on, the entire world is watching. These tiny margins making the difference in the team fights, turn the swing of the entire game, and the momentum now right back towards the other side. Pain, you saw them immediately rush out to the Dragon, regaining control of Summoner's Rift here. Now they're establishing vision up around the Baron, despite still being down in gold and still having the possibility of very big Wildcats team fights where, they don't get the exhaust down early onto HolyPhoenix. He doesn't just get bursted out quickly in the team fight. It can be a very different story.
And you can see brTT going back home right now, completes the Phantom Dancer as the second item. He's had a rough game. He's had a bad game. It's not been a good showing for him here so far. Got first blooded 2 minutes into the game. He's been getting chain killed ever since then, 0-4-3, but now he's on that 2-item core of Kraken Slayer plus Phantom Dancer, where you can really see Tristana go crazy if she is not properly targeted. He has his exhaust up. His flash is going to be back up here in, about 45 seconds? So my eyes are on brTT. Stay alive a little while.
I can tell your eyes were on him in the replay because you're like, what? As he jumps in right next to the Rumble. But so he was looking for the hero play, Tristana. He's looking for the reset off Lee Sin. He wants to be able to rocket jump away. But you got to be so careful in jumping into this very short range melee heavy team of Wildcats, because if you jump in looking for the reset off of one person, you really need to be able to instantly get that reset to jump out of the way of the rest of these melee threats. And in that play, he jumps in to try and get a reset off of Lee Sin, and yet Rumble's right there. Ferret just turns around and Flame Spitter right in the face. So here we go, teleport on the Baron. It started up, and we're going to have another slugfest.
It's team fight time! All right, they're backing away. They realize that their opponents can respond in time. Pain Gaming does not want to just throw themselves into the maw of death like that. Wildcats are there in time to shut them down. FarFetch can move up, try to clear out some of the vision here. Robo's a little bit out all on his lonesome. Stridebreaker finds him there. StarScreen continuing to chase, but Robo with the dead man's plate continues finding distance. Flashing out, FarFetch goes in, but now FarFetch got to be careful. We'll see tinowns grab that Alistar ulti. That means he's ready to scrap. He's ready to go. He wants to go in and tank. StarScreen at half HP. FarFetch the target. StarScreen's going to get dunked if he ain't careful. It is a 5-man dog pile plus a dunk for dessert. 2 free kills over to Pain Gaming.
Ah, the Wildcats used their Rumble ultimate just for the slow on one person to try and get the pick. One person who has Flash Flowers. The Rumble ultimate, one of the biggest team fight DPS threats, one of the biggest zoning threats in this squad, gets almost no value. They used it to try and slow down Robo to try and get the pick, but they know they just saw all 5 members on Baron. Pain are so much more well-disciplined in these late game team fights. They hold everything. They wait for the kite. Robo flashes away from the Rumble ultimate and yet pulls in the Wildcats. They snare them down, and without the Rumble ultimate, they slowly chip away at the front line of the Wildcats, earning this health lead in the team fight and just decimate them, even with this gold deficit. Now, for the first time in a long time, Pain are actually ahead in gold, wearing the Baron buff, and it's up to the Wildcats actually to make a big play.
Well, the Wildcats are dropping the equalizer, trying to make some sort of a move here. Luci uses the ulti, but that's not going to find a lot of success. Serin gets back away, and from the looks of it, it's going to be a Wildcats Dragon. I don't think anybody from Pain is coming down to contest this one, not after having already used the Rell ultimate. They still have the Tristana ulti not off a cooldown just yet. Darius ulti also ticking down for a couple more seconds. However, up there in the top lane, it's the inhibitor under pressure. tinowns is just absolutely destroying it. Back here in mid, the Wildcats are trying to defend the tier 1. Your base is being torn apart, Wildcats. Somebody's got to go answer the door. He's not going to knock much longer. He'll take the inhibitor, and now he'll try to get away. Does tinowns have an escape route? Yes, they won't be able to stop him, and Pain Gaming trade away a Drake for an inhibitor. Ferret now taking some damage as Pain continue to push. They'll apply pressure to the tier 2 in mid. They'll take that one easy breezy. 1, 2, 3-zy. And in case y'all are wondering, in case you needed a little bit more faith sauce, I mentioned earlier how this team finished 5th in their regular season. Well, how in the hell did they get to MSI then? And I'll tell you, it was 3 different series that they won 3-2, 3-2, and 3-1. This is a team that is born in these scrappy type of fights. They know how to grit their teeth and fight it all the way to the end, and you are seeing it right here on the MSI stage.
All those games of experience in playoffs paying off, Flowers. Again, the late game composure is what means the difference here in these team fights. Actually focusing on the closest threat to them, actually kiting backwards correctly here, doing so many wonders for this team. And look at tinowns. Was talking about this Sylas, him being pivotal in it. He's really taken that mantle and run with it. He's got the Cosmic Drive for that cooldown reduction we want.
It's so much.
The Kingslayers just come through the entire time. He stacks up his Conqueror so quickly, and it's just insanely hard to take him down in one of these team fights. He creates so much space. Guess what? Oh, he's up to level 18 already. Fully maxed out here for tinowns, pushing on the bottom side with the Baron buff. They should be able to get some alone time with this tower. brTT happy to blow half of that tower off the face of the earth and finish it quickly.
Okay, they've got the stolen Alistar ulti yet again. I love the fact that tinowns is always prioritizing this. He knows that as long as he can jump into the middle of the fight and just start causing chaos, that's more valuable than dropping an equalizer or throwing out a big dragon kick or something. He just needs to stay alive. And man, he's ready and set to do it, but a TP's coming in on the flank. Pain Gaming trying to back up. StarScreen's looking for the move. Nice disengage there. They're not going to let him do it. StarScreen now forced back to the rest of the team as FarFetch tries to go in with the equalizer brought down. Robo's your target here at the very start. Going to have to use the Sterix, keeping himself alive with a dunk with a killing spree. FarFetch the first one to die. brTT going to be chased down. Killing the Robo now. Everybody's falling over, and it is Rumble burning scaring them all away, but back in the base, the Nexus turrets are crumbling. tinowns and brTT still alive. They'll take down the remaining inhibitor, and now the Wildcats, despite winning a team fight 2 for 3, are stuck in their base.
And tinowns even gets the 3rd inhibitor. With 3 inhibitors down, it's multiplicative bonuses here because now every lane spawns 2 of these super minions. They crush through yours with the extra aura of defense being applied as well. It's just all homework now for the Wildcats. They have so much to... Yeah, exactly.
I hate homework.
Nah, we got to deal with all these super minions flooding down. There's a dragon coming up in a minute and 30 that we have to deal with. It gets so difficult, and Pain now setting themselves up for this success. Brazil looking like this is going to be an emphatic statement to start the tournament. Such a better Rumble Ultimate this time, though. You see how it splits the team fight, and Pain actually run over it in order to engage. And so then you're all just getting burned down here. Really good use of the percentage damage. Front line gets roasted. So on the other side, StarScreen almost was able to get the better of brTT. He got the clap in after brTT uses rocket jump, but good peeling there allows him to finish it off. So brTT and tinowns finish it off. The 2 most famous players, the 2 big carries for the team, able to finish up the objectives. 3 inhibitors down means that all you have to do as Pain is bide your time. As long as you don't let Wildcats rush in and finish a fight very quickly, you gain so much PvE pressure with your double stacked super minion waves that you just have to stand there and look menacing at them as your super minions come to back you up, and you can just brute force your way to a victory at MSI.
Okay, HolyPhoenix trying to step away from some of the Sylas damage. tinowns. Oh, he's looking for his way in, and he's found it, but he's going to be bursted down if he ain't careful. Zonius keeps him alive. Equalizer summoned up, looking to block the minions, but they'll still be able to take down the Nexus turret. FarFetch goes in. He's trying to just buy some time. He's taken to about 50 HP, and he'll be taken out now. HolyPhoenix finds the shutdown. He's managed to kill off tinowns. He's rotating back over to the side, looking to kill off Robo. He's got him, too. Luci will be the next one to die if StarScreen's got anything to say about it. Triple kill over to the Samira. One other one going over to StarScreen. Everybody except the jungler dead on the side of Pain Gaming. But the Nexus is getting walloped, and the minions are the MVP.
They're at the finish line, Flowers, and they face plant. Big face plant there from Pain. tinowns goes in. He rushes it. Time was in their favor.
This is Ocean Soul 2. This is Ocean Soul 2.
Yeah, if they just stood there with the super minions and they waited and they backed off, it would force Wildcats to be the move make. All right, well, we gotta fight here. There's smite on one side. I don't think Lee Sin's gonna be able to execute it. Should be able to.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Oh, and he just sidesteps away from the sonic wave and walks it off.
This game just keeps delivering, Flowers. Oh my goodness. All right. This is a total rush, though. Okay, look at this. If you back off as Pain, what are the options for Wildcats? They have to deal with all these super minions building up, but tinowns goes in. He blows his Zhonya's so early on. He blows his Alistar so early on, and then their front line getting roasted. Big hero play from FarFetch. Alistar goes in, another huge setup from him. He got a triple combo, which opened up the pathway for HolyPhoenix. And we see him once again, finally, from the beginning of the game, dominating here in the late stages. He pulls it out. They win the team fight in their base. They buy some time for their inhibitors to respawn. It doesn't mean that they get to reclaim any positioning on the map. It just means that they got to do their homework, Flowers, and all the super minions get cleared out.
Yeah, that's a 6 item, and none of those item is a shoe Samira. This is the maximum amount of kill power that Samira can bring to the game. 100% crit, plenty of life steal, Guardian Angel to keep her alive. HolyPhoenix is ready to make that last stand, and they're going to have to defend against Baron here yet again, as Pain Gaming are wearing purple for the 2nd time this game. They have 2 enemy inhibitors now respawned. That means they don't get all that free pressure any longer. They still just have the one in the mid lane, but they're bringing in the teleport. They're going to apply the pressure to multiple lanes at once, and it's up to the Wildcats to stop them before they end up back in that spot where they're stuck in the base for the rest of the game.
Okay, Pain need to apply a little bit of caution here. You've got the Baron buff. Same strategy applies. You can get chip damage, but back off. Do not fully commit, since time is in your favor. You still have mid lane super minions, plus your Baron buff allows you to take down these extra inhibitors for safety. They get engaged on, though.
Robo's having to run out of that one, but here comes your re-engage. It's a 4-man Rell ulti, finding the targets on everybody. Wildcats looking to keep themselves alive, but Pain Gaming is going all the way in. The problem is they didn't have HolyPhoenix down until now. He's down, he's out. Ladies and gentlemen, the CB Law come out swinging, and Pain Gaming brings the hurt to the fast-pay Wildcats.
And Brazil gets their first dub here in 2021 at MSI. It was a hard-fought game, but they put one on the winners column here for Pain. This is a huge victory for them over the TCL. We mentioned the historical rivalry between these two regions, 8-4 previously.